What is happening, guys? ARCHIEzzle here, and welcome to another video. ARCHIEzzle. I hope you guys are having a great day. If you are a brand new viewer, again, my name is ARCHIEzzle on the internet. Staff Sergeant Masiba, U.S. Army medic, active duty, and right now recruiter at the moment temporarily. And for today's video, we're going to be talking about the Army Combat Fitness Test. This is going to be another reaction video. If you don't know it by now, especially if you are active duty, National Guard, most likely, I think you still do the same PT test, Army Reserves. This has been in the talks for the past year and a half and all of that. Not everything's finalized, but we are having a brand new PT test for the Army that's going to replace the 2-mile run, 2 minutes of sit-ups, and 2 minutes of push-ups. Okay, from what I heard and from what I have researched, the standard is gonna be, you know, flat out, it's not gender specific. So some MOSs are more physically demanding, so they're gonna separate it using heavy physical demand MOSs, significant physical demand MOSs or unit, and moderate physical demand unit MOS and minimum and all of that cool stuff. So first of all, change, I'm super hyped up about it. Since I joined back in 2011, the Army has done the same PT test since the 80s or 90s, I believe. Everyone pretty much know who the best runner is, who's the best with the push-ups, sit-ups, but not a lot of people really know who's the best marksman. You know what I mean? They value PT test. We value the PT test a lot in the US Army. It's gonna determine if you're gonna get promoted. It's gonna separate you from other soldiers who's trying to get into airborne, air assault, US Army Rangers, Special Forces, all these selection schools. And even going to NCOES to get promoted to the next rank, you have to take a PT test. If you're gonna take leave and you don't have a valid PT test, some units will not let you take leave unless it's really emergent and you have to take that leave, like family member issues and stuff like that. But PT test is really vital, not just in the US Army, all across the board, all the military branches, but for the Army, it's really important. That's what they look at. A good example is like, okay, this person is trying to go to OCS, this person is trying to go officer school and all of that. They're gonna start off with evaluations, PT test, your performance and all of that, and PT test most likely will be the make or break part of who's gonna get selected. So without further ado, again, we're gonna watch this. We're gonna make comments here and there while watching it, but let's watch it first, and I'm gonna tell you what I think is the pros and the cons. We're gonna go also through the draft, because this is not finalized yet. It's not even gonna happen until 2020. Some events might get taken off, some events might stay, and it's a constant change. And if you're in the military, you should be used to that right now, especially the military that I got into for the whole 7 years and all of that. But this is only for active duty, Army Reserves, and National Guard is what I'm tracking. So if you're gonna be in basic, they might implement it, they might do a dry run, but let's see how it goes. And without further ado, like I said, let's hit the video and watch this.
The Army is introducing a new physical fitness test. The current test, the Army Physical Fitness Test, has been the test of record since it was developed and implemented in 1980. It consists of 2 minutes of push-ups, 2 minutes of sit-ups, and a 2-mile run. The new test, the Army Combat Fitness Test, or ACFT, consists of 6 events that are based on tasks a soldier might encounter in training or combat. The ACFT tests all of the major muscle groups and provides an accurate assessment of a soldier's physical readiness for military duties. The events are completed in order and take 50 minutes or less for an individual soldier to complete.
Right off the bat, I just want to say it. This will take a lot of people to man, to implement, a lot of equipment, which we will be talking about later on.
The uniform for the ACFT is the Army Physical Fitness Uniform. The events are the 3-repetition maximum deadlift, the standing power throw, the hand release push-up, the sprint drag carry, the leg tuck, and the 2-mile run.
They're still keeping the 2-mile run.
The 3-repetition maximum deadlift is the first event. The event is a test of lower body muscular strength, coordination, and balance.
They're using the
Soldiers
X-bar.
are required to lift the maximum weight possible, 3 times under control, replicating a litter carry or the movement of ammunition and supplies.
Being a medic and being a medic attached to an artillery unit, I know a lot of people, shorter people, they're not built as strong as they're supposed to be. It's kind of difficult for them to carry a litter, especially imagining having an actual patient or casualty on it. I've seen a lot of people though that are really short and skinny but can lift it without any issues. And also in an artillery unit, those rounds are like 100-pound rounds getting loaded into 777s and howitzers and all of that. So that's a lot of work. So I see that as a good part, adding the deadlift.
The standing power throw is the second event. The event is a test of explosive power and coordination in the legs and arms. Soldiers are required to throw a 10-pound ball up and backwards over the head for maximum distance. The event replicates the movement required to assist a buddy over an obstacle or the power required to leap across a ditch. The hand-release push-up is the third event. It tests endurance in the muscles of the shoulders, arms, and trunk. The number of successfully completed repetitions is counted over a 2-minute period. The event is similar to hand and arm movements required in combatives or repetitive loading of ammunition and supplies.
It's just pretty weird for me to see the push-up kind of different from the traditional one. You know, we knock out regular push-ups. This one you have to like rest, or I think it was called T push-up, but I still have to learn how to do this push-up. It's just off for me. I don't know why. Maybe a lot of people will think about the same thing, but we'll see how it goes out once it's rolling out in different units.
The sprint drag carry is the fourth event.
This one I think is really important because
the
we drag a lot.
event is timed and tests the soldier's movement skill under anaerobic conditions: sprinting, dragging, carrying, turning, and moving sideways.
That's a lot of equipment. A lot of detail personnel should be ready to go before the event.
The event replicates moving a casualty to safety, moving supplies, or moving under fire. The leg tuck is the fifth event. It develops upper body, abdominal, and
I think
hip
leg
strength.
tuck is pretty much
From a straight arm
self-explanatory.
hang, soldiers must raise their legs up so their knees or thighs touch their elbows. The number of successfully completed repetitions is counted over a 2-minute period. This event replicates climbing up and over walls, obstacles, or exiting disabled vehicles. The 2-mile run is the sixth event. The event tests aerobic capacity. This event replicates movements to and from contact. At the completion of the 2-mile run, the Army Combat Fitness Test is completed.
Well, there you guys have it. Like what I said earlier, I think there's gonna be a lot of dry runs that's gonna happen in different units, different variation. Like what I said, this will be uploaded sometime in August 2018. The actual brand new ACFT Army Combat Fitness Test won't be rolling out until 2020, so that's still a lot of time. So a lot of equipment will be used, a lot of personnel, cadre, detail personnel will be grading, timing, making sure the equipment's good to go, hand receipt, nothing missing. Because what if you're missing something? So how are you going to execute that certain event? You know, if there's like a, I don't know, Jimmy rig it, or you know, like improvise something that could suffice, because you want to grade every soldier as accurate as you can, and that's how it's supposed to be. And again, it's more combat related fitness tests. So when you deploy, they're gonna use different standards. Again, I'm gonna show you the draft. This is as of July 31st, 2018. It's gonna get separated into heavy physical demand unit or MOS, significant physical demand unit or MOS, moderate physical demand unit. That's the Army minimum, basically, the yellow. So black, gray, and yellow, it's all highlighted in this little screenshot right here. I think for Army Medic 68 Whiskey, it would be heavy physical demand. I'm pretty sure infantry, artillery, and stuff like that, versus someone who's a 42 Alpha. The S1 office, you know, admin, most likely it's gonna be the yellow or the gray, but it depends. It seems like maximum points is still 100 points. I don't really know how to interpret this page, but it seems like every event is a maximum of 100, and I'm assuming they're gonna have an extended scale again, like in the old PT test. If you exceed, you know, you can get higher points, so that's even better. 6 events: the deadlift, power throw, the release push-ups, sprint drag carry, leg tuck, and 2-mile run. So it seems like, you know, because there's more events now, there's 6. After the 5 events are done, you gotta do the 2-mile run still, and it looks like for the heavy you have to finish 2 miles in 18 minutes. So that's actually a lot of time, but you gotta bear in mind you still have to do the run, and there's this 5 different events before that. I don't know how the rest time would be. I didn't really pay much attention, but I know there's there's a lot of moving pieces. That's the thing that kind of concerns me, but I'm that type of soldier and I'm in a different generation now. I'm still young technically in military years, army years, so I'm pretty open to all of these changes. My questions to you guys are, what are the pros and cons that you see that's gonna happen? Is it gonna have more soldiers get hurt? You know, we don't, what's gonna happen if you have a profile? You know, if you don't know what a profile is, some soldiers are limited, like they can't wear body armor or they can't carry a certain amount of weight for a certain amount of time. They can't even run. Some people have no running profile, run at your own pace type of thing, can't do push-ups or sit-ups like that. So what will be the alternative? Because there's 6 events, like, are you gonna cancel 2 and separate it with something, change it with like a bike or a swim? Because that's, you know, there's a lot of things that you have to consider. And hopefully everything goes well, smooth as planned, because there's people in the army that are actually planning and have been looking at this for the longest, and I'm pretty excited how this is gonna roll out. I don't know what I would do when I actually do this, once I'm done with my profile. I haven't really done any dry runs concerning the Army combat fitness tests, and they called it different things also before, you know, recently, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot more changes. So like what I said, what do you guys think about this? Is it a go or no go? What would you change? What would you keep? What would you take out, and all of that? And like always, if you like the ARCHIEzzle video, send me video ideas, what you want to talk about, Q&As and all of that. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to always get notified whenever I upload brand new videos. A lot of cool stuff happening, okay? So, and that's it for today. ARCHIEzzle out.